Welcome to the Making Your Way in APA tutorial about general formatting. Across all APA formatted documents, there are going to be some things that are consistent at all times. One of those is related to font. In APA formatted documents, you're going to use Times New Roman. You'll notice if you've ever opened up a word processing document that is not the default font, but we can set up our word processing program to make 12-point black Times New Roman the default font, and I'll show you how to do that. Also, with an APA formatted document, the margins are going to be 1 inch all around. The entire document will be double spaced, and that includes everything in text with your reference list, your cover page, everything, and we'll talk about that also in later tutorials. You're also going to have a running head, which is a shortened version of your title in all capitals, and you're going to have a page number inserted in the top right corner of the document, starting on the first page and continuing throughout the remainder of the document. All paragraphs within your document will be indented with the exception of your abstract if one is required. And we're going to set the spacing before and after our paragraphs to 0. If you notice in a typical Word document, there would be a larger space in between paragraphs than there are in between sentences. Finally, we'll have one space after the end of each sentence. So let me show you how to get this going. We'll take our brand new Word document, and as you can see, it is defaulted to Calibri 11-point font. And so those are the first changes we'll make. We'll search for Times New Roman. We will select 12-point font, and we'll make sure that our font throughout the document is black font. And we can set this to the default by clicking on the font handle, going down to the Set as Default button. And at this point we can choose, do we want these settings to apply just to this document, or do we want it to apply to all documents? And we go ahead and select all documents. That way, every time we open up a new document in our word processing program, it'll always be set to Times New Roman 12-point black font. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to fix the paragraph and spacing settings. We click on the paragraph handle, and we notice that the spacing before paragraphs is 0, like it should be, but after is a little bit larger, which creates that bigger space. So we're going to set that to 0, come over to line spacing, select double space, and at this point our entire document has the right spacing before and after paragraphs in between sentences. And again, we'll select this as our default for all documents. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to click on the layout handle, and we're going to go over here to margins. As you can see, this document is not 1 inch all around, but we'll select that as our margin setting, and our document is formatted. So at this point in time, the entire document, the first page and beyond, will all be formatted the way that we'd like it to be. The next task is going to be working within the heading of the document to take care of the running head and the page numbers. So we double click on the header space, and what opens up is a set of tools. We want to make sure that we have different first page clicked, and what that will allow us to do is to have the term running head appear on the first page but not on the subsequent pages. So we go ahead and we enter in our page number, and in APA format that page number is always going to be on the top right hand corner, so we select that option. We type in the phrase running head with a capital R, followed by a colon, and then we want to go ahead and insert the running head itself, which is always going to be a shortened version of your title that captures the theme of your document. So in this case we will use APA writing style, and then you just give the tab key a couple of pops, and it'll put it right into position where you're ready to be, and from here your document is ready to go.